Since I moved to China in 2015, I've had different kinds of experiences as a Black African living in China. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 stories that will shed light into the issue of racism in China and also help you decide if really there is racism towards Blacks and Africans in China. Hi, my name is Ugonne Ann Okonkwo. I'm a Nigerian-born author, a podcaster, an ESL teacher currently living in China with her family. And today's video is inspired by the lovely, beautiful people in the comment section of my last video, which I consider a very viral video right now. You guys, you need to check out that video if you haven't seen the video. In that video, there was a lot of conversation in the comment section about racism. So I thought maybe I should share from my own perspective and my own experience as a Black African living in China. So I'm going to share 3 stories, and these are 3 real life stories, things that happened to me and some of the people that I know. Episode 1. I started teaching in this kindergarten in 2017, and about like a year later, they hired 2 foreign teachers. These 2 teachers had no experience. 2 guys, they said they were Australians. So they had to bring them to my class a lot of times to watch my classes. I talked with them, gave them ideas, like just shared everything I knew about English teaching and kind of just helped them get started on teaching English as a second language, right? One of them had issues with his visa, so he couldn't continue staying in the school. But the other one stayed for like a year or less. I can't remember now. It was along the lines, like later, that I discovered that 1, this guy was not Australian. He was in fact Russian. And then 2, as at the time, this school that I've worked in for 1 year and with my experience and everything was paying me peanuts. They were paying this guy something around 13 or 14,000 and was paying for his apartment. Is that racism? Do you think that is racism? Let me know in the comment section below. Episode 2. I was in a classroom one day, and the school that I was working at, they were looking for and scouting for teachers, right? So a lot of teachers used to come to the school, do demos and go. My class was close to the gate of the school. So anyone that came into the school, I would see the person, we would see the person through the window. So I didn't even know what I was doing, but the next thing I was hearing, I was hearing all kinds of sounds, and I looked up and I saw this Black guy with like, he had dreads, just looking cool. Not the finest guy in the world, but he was Black, just regular Black guy. But he had dreads, right? Walk into the school, and as he was walking, that was when my class teachers were saying, my Chinese class teachers were saying, what is this? And I laughed, and then they were now like telling me, Teacher Ann, yesterday you need to see the one of the guys that came for a demo. That this guy, oh my God, he's fine, he's white, he's this, he's that. Gosh, that they wish they'll hire him. But this guy that he's saying, they don't think they'll hire him, that he's not fine. In my mind, in my beautiful mind, I felt like, what if this was my brother? Because at the time, I was working on a visa, the visa process for my siblings to come and visit me in China. And I was just thinking, what if it was that my brother came into the school to visit me? Wouldn't that be like such an awkward situation with the remarks that they had made and everything? Is that racism? Let me know in the comment section below. 3rd, and probably the most interesting of them all, is I'm teaching at a school. I've been working there a while. They hired another Nigerian teacher. This Nigerian teacher is Black, like she's darker than me. You know I'm light skinned, right? She had experience in training center, but she wasn't teaching very young children, like 4-year-olds like me. I've been teaching them, like literally my whole ESL teaching career has been strictly about early childhood, right? So this girl had worked 1 year. She didn't know how to teach very well at first, but she was quick to get it. Very hardworking, I'm telling you, very hardworking, ready to do the work. Like, she was just on her game. She grew quickly. She was a good teacher. She was a good teacher, right? And then she worked for a year. The class that she had taught for that 1 year was now graduating to preschool, so she didn't have a class. Another Russian teacher had left the school, so she was supposed to replace that Russian teacher that left the school. But then they started telling her stories. First, they said, her hair, because she used to carry like afros and like braids. I'm not into braids, so I don't really do that. She used to carry that. Then they complained about her hair. Then they said that the teacher that used to be in the class was very, very like active, always standing, never used to sit down, which was just ridiculous. I mean, it was not true. And then before they finally told her that the parents in the class are very picky and they would not want a black-skinned teacher, so they were going to fire her. And yeah, they literally fired her. It was kind of worrisome to me because, I mean, this was someone that had already taught for a year in the school. She was not a stranger. So I felt like they already knew her and they couldn't really discredit her teaching. So I don't know. It was weird. It was very weird. But you tell me, honey, you watching this video, is that racism? Let me know in the comment section below. But I'm sharing this video because I just really wanted to talk to my fellow brothers, my Africans, my fellow sisters. See, it's very, very easy for us to play the victim. And it's legit. You have every right to play the victim. In a lot of cases here, there are a lot of stories, a lot of pictures, a lot of things like this that you hear here and there. Personally, I've not really experienced these things like overt, aside from the first story that I told you guys. But you will hear and see these things. And then you would feel like, especially as an African, if you're an African watching this video, it's very, very easy for you to like just get angry and just, play the victim. And you have every right to, trust me. But I really want you to see this from this perspective, because the thing that you see as racism, when you start to look at it really deep, it's actually about the representation. When I started to look into it, I started to see that, this thing is about representation. It's about what white represents to the Chinese, to the average Chinese person that would behave this way that I've described earlier, and what black also represents to them. Whites, the white skin speaks to a legacy of innovation, of excellence, of creativity that all of them, like everyone, loves and appreciates. When they think about the white skin, which literally means the West in this case, is they are seeing the Apple phone that they are using every day. Most of them use Apple phones. They are seeing the McDonald's that they go buy food from, which is a Western company. They are seeing one of the biggest malls in my city, Shenyang, is Walmart. It's owned by Sam Walton, and that's an American. One of the biggest employers of labor in this country, in this city, and probably around the country, is BMW, and it's a Western company. So when they see white, it's about what white represents to them. It's about the legacy of the white man. And honestly, what that inspires me to the thing this thing I'm speaking to you about inspires me to, and I want you to think about, is about the legacy that you yourself are building, the legacy that you are leaving behind. Because when they think about the black man and they look around, they cannot see you. They cannot see you and me. They can't see you. They can't see us in their environment. And the only picture that they have is the poor representation that they have been shown over the years through media about poverty, lack, and corruption, and all the misrepresentation, the bias, and the prejudice that they already have about the average black person. So my question to you, especially if you're an African watching this video, is what are you building? What are you creating? What are you innovating? What are you birthing? What vision is burning in your heart? What legacy are you going to leave behind? I love how John Obidi puts it in one of his posts that I read in Hairstyle Africa, which is a group that I am in on Facebook, he said, let me read it out for you. He said, he was talking about the third world, right? He said, you must explore all the tools available for not only your upliftment, but the creation of a new dynasty for you and your family. You must explore all these tools. He says, when you think real estate, think global real estate. He says, when you think social media, think producer. And when you produce, think foreign markets. Where markets do not exist, that you should use your knowledge of branding to create demand that a market that will, and the market will appear. He says, where there is no access to markets, create a Silk Road. That these things are not new concepts. If you are discerning enough, you will see that this is the playbook of the West. This is the playbook of the West. So I'll ask you again, how are you thinking as an African, as a Black person, as a Nigerian, whatever country that you're watching me from? How are you thinking? What are you creating? What are you birthing? What are you producing? And this is one of the many reasons that I wrote my book. My first book called The Birthing, How to Partner with God for Your Children, Your Vision, and Your Nation. Because we must build. We have to build. And we need God to build. Don't let anybody deceive you. To build on a global scale, we need God to do it. The West and all the people that keep saying it can continue to pretend about the existence and the impact of the Judeo-Christian God in building this legacy that I'm talking about, when they are still living off of it, when they are still living off of the fumes of this great river of history that they have with God. They can keep pretending about it, but you and I know the truth. And if you dig deep, you will see the truth. If you're going to build, if we are going to build, if our name is going to be heard, if the things that we're going to build is going to last, you need God. We both need God. And if you don't have answers to these questions that I've asked, what are you building? What are you creating? What are you scaling? Honey, I really recommend that you get my book, The Birthing. If you're in Nigeria, it's already available. The first copies are already out and have been delivered. If you're not in Nigeria, please watch this space because it will soon be on Amazon. And just put your emails or follow me on Instagram. And when it's out, I will definitely let you guys know. You'll be the first to know. But I hope that you heard me with your inner ears. I hope you heard me with your inner ears, because if we don't build, my children, Zite, and his children will still come back to this question in 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years from now and come and be asking me, is there really racism in China against Blacks? God forbid. And if you're not African and you're watching this video, let me tell you the truth. There's something I strongly and totally believe. Africa is the future. There are so many untapped parts of Africa, so many untapped resources, so many things that is already happening. And I would really implore you that you should really look into Africa and invest in her, because it will bear much fruit. Trust me, it will bear much fruit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found this video valuable, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know about your experiences. If you're living in China, if you're living anywhere in the world, what are the experiences you've had with regards to racism? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's discuss, answer the questions that I asked in this video. Are the experiences that I shared, which are real life experiences, are there issues of racism? Please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you have any questions, any suggestions, especially to all my new subscribers, yay! If you have any questions, any suggestions about the videos that you would like me to create, honey, I'm here for you. Please let me know in the comment section. You can follow me on Instagram at Ugonne Ann. You will see it on the screen. And you can DM me whatever you want to know, or whatever you want to say to me about this issue, or about living in China, or just generally about the kind of content that I create on this channel. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Peace.